Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, this is your host, Jermaine Lockett. Hey, I just thought I'd just pop on today, mainly because I got a new arm for my mic, and I was like, hey, I got to show this thing out. But no, I actually had some content, some things I want to talk about. And if you want to chime in and talk, then you're more than welcome as well. So let me go ahead and get this link out here to everyone. And so we will go ahead and invite some folks. But since I am here, how's everybody doing? I hope y'all having a pretty good Saturday. Hope your college teams are winning. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's matchup because I need some football in my life. The Ravens related. It's been a long week. I've been itching for this stuff. I need it in my life. Okay, so what's happening? What's happening? So today, I want to talk about Pat Queen, man. Like, what is going on with this guy? Will he get it together? Can he get it together? I believe he can. I believe this guy can because he was almost the defensive rookie of the year last year. He was going towards, he was having those decent stats to where he was showing up for his team. He was having 106 tackles. He was having the interceptions, the 3 sacks. He was doing his thing. And then he just kind of fell off the map and started missing tackles. And he says, to reporters in the offseason, like, hey, I know, everybody knows it's relevant. He's like, he still has room to improve. Everybody knows it. He's like, it's obvious. But what is he doing about it right now? What is going on with him right now to where he is ready to improve for this defense? Because it starts with him. It starts with the core of this defense, the middle linebacker. Is he going to be Ray Lewis? No, he's not going to be Ray Lewis. He's going to be Patrick Queen. And that's all we can ask for. Hey, Hassan, what's going on, man? What's happening? All right, so you said, Hassan, he wants to jump already to Odell. We'll get to him in just a second. I just want to go over a couple things, and then we will get to him. Also, AJ, thanks for coming. I will get to that too. I promise you, I'm coming with it. I'm coming with it. Give me a second to breathe. Let me get this out. All right. So the dude, he has some issues. He's got like 32 tackles on the season, and 26 of those were solo. The main mics, the big time number one middle linebackers in the league, they're double those numbers. So we want to see this guy show up a little bit better against the Minnesota Vikings, because if he doesn't, there's a guy over there who we just don't want that smoke from. Dalvin Cook will roast these fools because of the fact that, Dalvin, that's just how he gets down. Dude's got over 444 yards rushing right now, and he will put up double touchdowns on the day if Baltimore does not learn to tackle. It's pretty much basically what it is. He's got to be smarter with his feet, got to be smarter with his awareness. If y'all go watch all 22, you'll see the clips of where his footwork and awareness are not there. He's falling for RPOs. It's not all there what to do. Anyway, since we want to talk about the hot topic, let's go ahead and just talk it up. So Hassan says, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen real quick. What do you think Beckham in Baltimore? I think we ain't got no money, man. We ain't got no money. We just don't have it. I think there could be some restructuring that goes on with that. But look at the guys we have on the roster right now. And let's just say that Sammy and the guy Rashad, Rockmaster First Down Rashad Bateman, or Batman, is actually starting on Sunday. Where does Odell Beckham fit in this equation? Is his daddy making more videos saying Lamar is not doing the thing for him now, and saying Lamar is not looking at him when he's open? If Boykin made the same video, I'm pretty sure Boykin would have got cut, no problem. But it was the same similar type of issue. Sometimes Lamar was under duress and couldn't get to that progression to get to, Boykin's side. Baker Mayfield had the same thing. He was under duress. He was going through different progressions, and he did not see, or maybe he just overthrew some mistakes made in there as well. But there were times when he just wasn't, he would have been thrown into double coverage, or it would have just been a hot mess to try and readjust his body to make that type of throw. So I think Odell should not come to Baltimore. If he comes to Baltimore, would I be mad? No, not at all. I just feel bad for, Duvernay and Prochet, for these guys in the back that kind of worked hard and have been showing little spurts of goodness, with Prochet in the Denver game, with Duvernay against Detroit. They show these little flashes, and they deserve, the little 1-2 reps here, but that workload will get eaten into. So let's talk about Sammy. So AJ, what's happening, man? Appreciate you coming through. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know what's going down. For the rest of y'all, same thing. Anyway, AJ says, will Sammy play Sunday? I think he will. I think he's going to play. He looked good at practice on Friday, according to John Harbaugh. And I think there's an opportunity there for him to show the rest of the league, like, hey, I'm back, baby. I'm back, and I'm going to throw it around with these boys. Let's go. All right, so here we go. What's the next one? It says, what about Murray? I believe Murray is doubtful. I don't think he's going to play, but that also pulls another question up to say, hey, who's going to start? Who should be starting? Now, in my mind, it's got to be Tyson. Tyson should be that starter. But, of course, Harbaugh, like I say, has that doghouse. People cannot get out of the doghouse. It drives me insane because of the fact that, once you get in John Harbaugh's doghouse, you about as gone as Chris McAllister. And you saw how that worked out. And you about as gone as Bernard Pierce out there one fumble in the first game of the season. Yeah, you gone. You gone. Ain't no coming back from that. You might as well go and put yourself in Davy Jones' locker because ain't no coming back once you get put in John Harbaugh's doghouse. So what's that leave us with? That leaves us with Le'Veon Bell and Devonte Freeman. Honestly, I think just give Freeman all the snaps and tell Bell to just go ahead and sit on the bench because he ain't worth it. He just ain't worth the time. All right, so Hassan says, let's go back. He goes back around, says Pat Queen need to ask Ray Lewis how to tackle. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I love me some Ray. Ray is a phenomenal leader, but Ray he wasn't asked to cover the space that this guy's being asked to cover. He's being asked to cover a great deal of space. And Ray was actually put in formations to where it would pretty much, how do I put this? It made life a little bit easier, and he did a little bit of gang tackling towards the end of his career. Now, granted, in those first couple, like 7-8 years, this guy was he was phenomenal. He was sideline to sideline, just constantly, punching people in the mouth. Loved Ray Lewis's style. And then towards the end, you could see those faster slot receivers started coming along, your Julian Edelmans and Danny Amendolas, and Ray couldn't keep up. Ray couldn't keep up. They had to go put a faster linebacker on the field. But hey, when Queen can actually, he has the speed. He just has to get the awareness together, And yes, he definitely needs to sit down with Ray and just understand the game from his aspect. Him and Ed Reed, it was like they had maybe a 12-hour rule of victory. After that, they just jumped into tape because they knew the tape didn't lie. And I think that's what Patrick Queen needs to do is just look at the tape, see the running lanes that he's leaving open by over-adjusting or falling for the RPO. Yes, he's a good, surprise sack artist. Like he can come through, he can fake out the quarterback and then go for the sack. But we need him to do more than that. He needs to be able to jump to different levels. Yes, he only played 11 games or started 11 games in college. I think he played 15 games in college, but only started 11. So there's a huge gap to grow. But he got to get to it. Next question here. Or actually, this is just a statement. It says, Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback than Baker. I believe this is going back around to what we were talking about previously with with missing Odell. Is Lamar Jackson a better quarterback than Baker? The thing is, Baker catch so much crap because of all these commercials and stuff. I think the guy is a decent signal caller, and I just think that when Odell's in the game, there is the last year he wanted to try and force this ball to Odell Beckham before he got injured. There was a constant pressure to do that. But when Odell's out of the game, I feel like Baker is actually finding Rashard Higgins. He's finding Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's hitting Landry like he wants to because Landry's his target. That's his main target right there. He didn't feel the pressure to have to try and force the ball to one guy because he's a diva. And then this year, I just don't think he felt the pressure at all. Maybe it was some like, hey, I'm not looking for this guy. But it was also some, hey, okay, maybe I should target this guy a little bit. But then screw it, I'm going to do what I want to do. And then that's when his dad comes out of the video. I know we all know it wasn't his dad. Whose dad do you know is that tech savvy? I mean, yes, unless you're in your teens in this room. Whose dad is that tech savvy to be able to put that type of tape together, put highlighters on the film, everything, and smart enough to actually go hustle the 22 or all 22 film? We know that was somebody set up by Odell, and then they released it through his dad because honestly, I think he just wanted out of Cleveland. He got tired of his little brother connection over there, and that's okay. That's okay. Hey, he wants to go over to a different pasture and get out of Cleveland because he feel like it's a nightmare there and he's not getting the attention and love he desires. But I think Baltimore is not the place for the guy. He is not going to Baltimore, one, because of money, two, because where are we going to actually play this guy at without taking reps out of other people's hands? And is it really worth it? I don't think so, because you got to be able to pay this guy above $7 million a year. And that's, yeah, Baltimore sitting at $1.5 million, according to the Russell Street Reports guy who tracks the cap. I want you to recognize that he's pretty good at tracking the cap, and those numbers are legit. There is not $11 million in the cap. There's $1.5 million. We ain't got no money to pay anybody. If somebody gets injured, it could be really ugly because Baltimore's going to have to restructure again one of our guys' contracts just to make money to sign somebody else. And I just don't think that's going to happen. Baltimore just doesn't want to do that. So where is Odell Beckham going? Is probably the question that you should be asking. So where is he going? I mean, take a look at it. Up north, that team that used to kick everybody's butt in the AFC East, they starting to heat up. And if they get a target like Odell Beckham, I'm talking about the New England Patriots. Talking about the New England Patriots, folks. You have to take a look at it like this. With New England, it is, he'd be the number one guy. No doubt about it. I mean, Jacoby Myers, yeah, that's cool and all, but Jacoby and Odell, it would be a good pickup, good combination. He'd have the firepower that he needed. Hey, y'all probably have to bear with me just for a second. I got some crazy kid coming over. I mean, absolutely wild. They are just full on boys, about to have some fun with my son. Hopefully they go back to their room and hop out the way. So y'all hear some loud noise. That's what's going on. All right, so I'll move forward. I'll get off the Odell Beckham stuff. We just can't afford it. There's a better team out there for him. All right, here we go. This next question is, will Wolf play Sunday? No, I think Wolf is out. I think he's just, the back issue is just a little bit too much for him. And I mean, we could use him against the run, but everybody else is going to have to step up. We're going to have Broderick Washington step up. Big Baby needs to step up and actually tackle a little bit better. The title is a little bit petty, Chris. Yes, I'm sorry. But Wolf is definitely not playing Sunday. Y'all keep circling back around. Let's go back. Okay, we can talk about it again. OBJ is going. He says he's going to Oakland or Kansas City. So Oakland, yeah, you mean Las Vegas? I could totally see him with Carr because of the fact that Henry Ruggs, ran into some trouble, made a huge mistake and is paying for it right now and is off the team. And so, of course, Kansas City needs a chain mover, and Odell Beckham can be that versatile receiver that they need that replaces a Sammy Watkins. So I can see them going there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah, Las Vegas. Definitely, Jimmy. Yeah, I know you. We know what you meant. I say Oakland all the time. But, yes, him matched up with Derek Carr, they could really get some things done. It all depends on the coaching and scheme and how they have things going forward without John Gruden there, how things look for this team. Sure, they pulled out the W. But what's changing? Is there anything changing with this team with a special teams coach as their head coach? Does that mess with the offense? Do they keep the offense the same? Is their philosophy the same? We don't know. I guess we'll have to find out once they stack more games together in Las Vegas. Adding an Odell Beckham to it actually mixes things up even more. So just keep that in mind. All right. Y'all hang on just a second here. Okay. All right. Told y'all gonna be some craziness going on. Hey, when you go to that room, close that door too. Yeah, I had to just referee that for just a second. What other questions do you have? Because I know there's some different questions. I know I talked about predictions on a previous video, and I mean, if you look at it right now, what do y'all think about Marlon Humphrey? You think he's going to bounce back against another LSU product, or is this guy going to do the gritty all over the end zone in Baltimore? You know what I'm talking about. Justin Jefferson is a full-on monster. Maybe he's not as bad of a guy as Jamar Chase, who's like leading the league in receiving, but I think that my guy's going to have his hands full. He is definitely going to have his hands full with a receiver like Jamar Chase. It's gonna be not Jamar Chase, but Justin Jefferson. Just freakish athlete, runs all the routes with precision, with twitch. I love it. Absolutely love it. That guy. I wish Baltimore was able to pick him up. I wish the Baltimore was able to pick up Jamar Chase, but it just didn't happen. In fact, during the offseason, I was sitting here hitting up Lacey DeCosta. I was one of those ones in her inbox, like begging, like, hey, whisper Jamar Chase in your husband's ear for the next 4 months. I appreciate you. You know, that's kind of where I was at. All right, somebody asked. Chris says, hey, Chris, what's going on? Chris says, safeties. Can the safeties cover? Now, here's the thing. It looked really bad it looked bad against the Bengals, like as if our safeties couldn't cover. But the thing about our safeties, they are so disciplined. They know the fundamentals. It is the crazy blitz package schemes that Dean Pease runs is what is screwing up these safeties right here. Because sometimes you'll see them just full on blitzing and it's 0-man blitzes. And then there's our corners getting taken advantage of because those blitzes are pretty much our safeties going in there, and our linebackers are expected to do a little bit more in coverage than they're normally expected to do. Wink's got all types of crazy blitzes coming out of nowhere. You're like, and you just don't know who's covering who. Where is Jimmy going to be at any particular time? And if the quarterback catches us with our pants down, yes, they're going to execute. I hate that word. They're going to take care of business, and it's going to be pretty bad. But yes, the safeties are fundamental experts. Like Clark knows exactly where he should be. He knows exactly where he should be at on the field. And I mean, so does Elliott. Elliott is just a dangerous downfield hitter. He can still cover as well, as you saw again in the San Diego game where he just kind of comes in. What he did, he got a sack and then he got an interception. I mean, he called his own interception. I think they can definitely cover. I just think, if what I like to have Jimmy or a safety on the tight end, I want to have Jimmy Smith on the tight end for sure. All right, here it is. Abdi says, Humphrey went to the lab. He did. I believe he truly did go back to the lab because Humphrey is he's like number 3 overall corner in the league. His teammates believe he's the best. I believe he's up there. I have thoughts of this guy comparing him to Chris McAllister when he was with the Ravens because Chris could lock down an entire side of the field. Jimmy in his prime, Jimmy was locking down one side of the field, and he's still able to play very well against interior players or bigger players. And I think even on the outside, Jimmy can still hold it down. I think through 6 games last year, he was one of the top 3 corners in the league. Dude he's fire. He's just old and he has injuries. What about the Jimmy Dean says, do you think the Ravens are limiting Lamar by not going all in? No, I don't. And the reason being is because after looking at the tape and seeing the formations that Baltimore has, I think they're only limiting Lamar by not developing better running schemes for the running backs, not for Lamar. So they have plays designed for quarterback runs, and they're phenomenal. Like I said, I've been watching all 22's clips, and the way he breaks it down is just phenomenal. You can see the care and the detail put into those plays that he is drawing up or clipping and showing the cut-ups on. You can definitely tell that the plays are set up for Lamar, but they're not set up for the success of the running back. And that's why Lamar is leading the league and leading the team and rushing. They have to set something up to get Le'Veon Bell rolling. They have to get Latavius running. Or they just need to really face the facts and realize that Tyson Williams is your best runner. He is the best runner on the team right now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to get him out of the doghouse. Somebody go talk to John and tell him, like, hey, look, I know you're mad at him. He had a couple slip-ups, some fumbles, and things with the mesh point. We all know mesh point is a serious thing when it comes to it's a difficult thing to handle because you got to have an understanding with the quarterback. And you don't have that understanding, guess what? There's a fumble. But he needs to talk to John and say, hey, man, look, I'm sorry. But you need to put me on the field because your team right now can't run the ball for nothing. And I average 6 yards to carry, baby. Come on, give me the rock. Anyway, let's move forward. What about the offensive line? I feel like the offensive line. Okay, I know what you meant. Offensive line. So the offensive line, folks, is going to be a little murky. It is definitely going to be murky because of the fact that McCarry is more than likely out. I like McCarry. Last year I did not like McCarry because McCarry was at center and he's the reason that Lamar got hurt in the playoffs because that snap went over his head. Some people say wind direction and all this. I say, hey, look, McCarry was just pushing that ball out bad because he did it multiple times that game and multiple times during the regular season. And granted, he was a fill-in, but still, when you get called to do a job, do the job well. And he got called to be a right tackle this year, and he did the job very, very well. Was impressed with this guy. So I am curious to see what Phillips and everybody else is going to bring to the table this Sunday. I mean, it's going to be a really weird offensive line situation. They called up 2 practice squad players, and we just don't know what that offensive line is going to look like until the pregame. Let's move forward here because I'll be honest with you, offensive line is not my forte, but I do recognize, when everything goes wrong, of course, everybody wants to point to the offensive line and start coming at these folks. But, hopefully things go right Sunday because they are facing a team that leads the league in sacks. Moving forward, where do you rank Trey Diggs? You think he just gets picks or is he just that good? He's one of those guys like you remember Ed. I mean, everybody knows Ed Reed, Ed, right? Ed was like a full-on legend, right, when it came to the pick. But he was also one of the players who gave up the most plays of over 20 yards, big plays in the league. Trayvon does the exact same thing. He takes huge chances, loses big time, but then when he wins, everybody's like, yeah. But if you just go to PFF or go look at the stats, I hate to say PFF, I call them PFC because they Pro Football Cap, because when they do their top 10s, they're absolutely insane. Or their top players or whatever. I don't think they just use common. They don't look at their own stats. They don't have common sense. Anywho, but what I'm saying is Trayvon gives up big plays, but he also makes big plays. He's probably going to go down as having one of the best seasons for safety to play the game, but he's also going to give a buttload of yards. But it's high risk, high reward when it comes to that position of corner or defensive back. Sure, you can give up the Marcus Peters. Imagine Marcus Peters. They used to call him Burnt Toast Peters before he came to the Ravens. And when Peters came to the Ravens, people was just like, oh, he's going to get burnt over top because of the fact that he playing underneath. He could not wait to try and bait the quarterback underneath. In fact, in his first game, he got a pick 6 with the Ravens against Seattle because he was baiting Russell Wilson. Takes it to the house, had them gold cleats on. It was clean. I loved it. I was like, perfect for him. Love it. But at the same time, when he bites on that and a quarterback does a double move, he's back to Burnt Toast Peters again. He's a guy that takes chances. Yeah, you need one of those on the team so you can get those picks. Of course, everybody can't be taking chances or we get completely lit up and we turn to the Jets. Anyway, let's move forward here. So I appreciate your question, Six Trust. Glad you're here, man. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe. All right, Chris, what you got? Said if the Ravens were to go with the 4-3 base, who were the starting front 4 considering the injuries? With a base 4-3, the starting 4. Well, I mean, I would definitely start from the interior out. You got to go with Big Baby. You got to go with Calais Campbell, and then on the outside, I mean, you got to rock with your defensive ends. Actually, I would throw just another tackle out there just for the heck of it, like Broderick Washington. I would throw pretty much anybody I could put fat boys wise because we need to stop the run. We need to stop the run first. All right. So next we got. Oh, sorry. I forgot about Matabike, no doubt. And of course, if Wolf was there, ideally that would be the front that I would want. If I had 3 linebackers and then 4 linemen, I'd have my front look exactly like that. I'd have Big Baby. I would have Broderick Washington, honestly, sitting on the outside just for the heck of it. And I have Wolf. Or, excuse me, no. I got it mixed up. Sorry. Matabike, Calais Campbell, Big Baby, and then Derek Wolf on the outside. That would be the ideal 4-3 with our regular linebacker sit on the out. All right, so let's move forward here. Wilbert is here to talk trash. Here he is. Hi, Wilbert. Hi. All right, so Wilbert is the resident crazy Cleveland Browns fan from the AFC Trash Talk page or AFC North trash talk page. He has probably some of the funniest memes you'll ever see. And he's trashing the Ravens, no doubt, but don't get me wrong. These memes are hilarious. He is getting it everybody equally. The hate is equal all across the board. And he is just a huge, blind as heck Go Browns fan, no doubt. But welcome to the page, Wilbert. Appreciate you still coming through. Jimmy, what's happening? Jimmy says, supposedly the Ravens are ranked high by PFF. In what category? Because when it comes to, being the worst team against the pass in the league, yeah, that's pretty low. It's pretty low. We're worst ranked against the pass in the league. We're allowing, quarterbacks to come in and average 300 some yards per game. Yeah, that's bad. All right. Jimmy says the Ravens O-line is ranked high by PFF. Yes, it's high right now, but it's a rotating, revolving door right now with this offensive line. Like our interior guys, okay, there's a little bit of consistency there, but outside, we're all over the place, but they still managed to get it done. Lamar's on the run though, and you see what happens when you take let's say a really premier offensive lineman from us and try to go put him on another team. Guess who's struggling? Pat Mahomes is struggling because of the offensive line. And that kind of starts with our guy Zeus Jr. over there. He's just not getting it done. All right, so let's move forward here. Wilbert has some trash talk from Dean, looks like. Oh, no, excuse me, a question. He wants to know, was Odell the problem or Baker? This is good. A little talk inside the room. I want to hear the response to this myself. So Dean's talking overall blocking. Okay, Chris says not the same Browns. Not the same Browns that released a receiver for being wide open. Okay. Yeah. Now, I don't think I think there were times, yes, there was times on this 11-minute tape. If y'all hadn't seen it, y'all really got to go take a look at the 11-minute long tape that the dad of Odell Beckham Jr. put out, saying that Odell Beckham was always open. Any receiver is going to say, hey, I'm open. I'm always open. But you look when this dad was trying to point out when Odell was actually open, you could see some of the times, I say 7 of the times of those snaps, that Baker was under duress. And he was also looking at the short because he was trying to hit the check down versus the over top. There sometimes you just don't have that vision to see those things. And yes, there's an evaluation that goes down with the quarterback, but there's some things you just can't see as a quarterback. And Odell Beckham down the field wide open, when somebody's trying to put their helmet in your chest, majority of the time you ain't gonna be able to see it. I just want y'all to be able to get those views. I wish they had the behind. I wish they had the behind views. Just give me the backfield views so you could see what Baker was looking at as he was going through those progressions a little bit closer. All right, so Wilbert actually chimed in on this. Let's hear what he had to say. So the problem was Stefanski. Ooh, he's hot about it too. There's an exclamation mark in there. Oh, goodness gracious. The Browns run their offense with timing routes. Odell does what he wants. Divas do what they want. Stefanski should have seen that and adjusted. Now, here's the thing. That's a two-way street, player. That is a two-way street. You got players who do what they want. They will not work out in systems. And in New York, maybe that worked for Odell to go find the open spots in the field. And that's like, teams like Pittsburgh, that worked for years with Hines Ward because he could find the holes in his zone. In fact, I encourage some of these receivers to take on a little bit of that. But you have a specific scheme that expects you to be in a certain spot and you're not there. That's what either causes interceptions because they're expecting timing routes, or you're expecting a person to be in a certain spot and they're not there, and the quarterback gets sacked because they're shocked because, hey, you let that person down. That's a communication issue. All right, next. Jimmy says, I've heard that OBJ will freelance a bit on routes. Yes, most veteran receivers, but they have to have that chemistry with the quarterback. Like I said, Hines Ward will sit there and freelance. Back in the day, he would sit there and he was supposed to, let's say, run a dig, but he'll run that dig and then sit down before the linebacker. And then, he's able to get big yards because of that. And as you gain chemistry with your receiver as a quarterback, you should be able to see those things, but they don't have that chemistry. We know that Baker's chemistry is with Landry, and honestly with Rashad Higgins. He's a pretty good receiver. And when every time that Odell Beckham went down, Higgins was the one that stepped up. Donovan Peoples-Jones gets a little bit of money here and there, but Higgins was that dude. And I think he was called Hollywood Higgins. I know this is kind of blasphemous here because we got Hollywood Brown, but Hollywood Higgins was nice over there in Cleveland. Let's see. Anybody else got any questions, concerns, comments, compliments, whatever? Hey, but since we here, you got 10 people in the room. Look, show me some love. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. Smack the bell, folks. I need all the love I can get. I'm still trying to get to 1,000. Your boy trying to, I'm trying to retire up in this joint. You're going to help me. You're going to help me. Anyway, Shannon Sharp. Chris is talking about Shannon Sharp. He said Shannon Sharp said that was how he got all his yards, sitting in zone gaps. That's why I like Sammy Watkins. Yes, you can tell that having guys like that is it's a needy thing. Just like a safety on defense that takes chances. You need a wide receiver on offense that knows how to come back to the ball and take those chances and sit in the gaps. Yes, there are guys that are designed, hey, I need you to run these routes. I need you to run them exactly how they're meant to be ran. And this year, Keith Williams wants you to run those routes exactly how he has designed those routes. And, of course, there are times when you just need to sit down and wait for Lamar to come to you. If you look at Pat Mahomes right now, he don't have a Sammy Watkins. And he's struggling right now because of this. Because if one of his targets isn't open, which is Tyreek, and the next one, Kelsey, if they ain't open, he doesn't have that third option because those guys that know they know fundamentals, but they don't know the advanced piece of being a wide receiver, and that's sitting down and being able to catch that ball when your quarterback's in a little bit of a struggle. That's where Sammy was bailing out Pat Mahomes on longer plays. So, yes, it has to be a balance. You can't sit here and just constantly be that innovator all the time because that's when you get benched. Let's see. All right, Wilbur Gross says Kelsey in KC has free will. He can just get open, and Mahomes will still hit him. I don't believe Baker is at the level where he can just freelance. He needs things to be perfect. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The Browns a little bit more than me. I think Baker can improvise when needed. Hang on, y'all, just a second. All right, apologize for the delay. So, yeah, like I said, Baker, I think he has the ability to improvise. I've seen it. I've seen him actually throwing on the run, finding the guys he needs to find. And, I think your team a little bit better than I do, but I do think Baker, I've seen him improvise before and find those guys who come back to the ball. All right. Let's see here. Jimmy Dean says, Wilbur Gross, you have to have chemistry with the QB to do that. If you don't, it's hard to be on the same page. Yes, you got to have that chemistry. But like I was saying, I think Rashard Higgins has a lot better chemistry with with Baker than Odell. And, just go look back at the tape. You can see that that's the guy he's going to if Landry's not open. All right, let's see what Jimmy says here. Who is a Ravens podcaster that I want to work with? Yes, Ravens podcaster I want to work with. You know what? I like TTB. I like the 410 Sports Talk. I definitely work with those guys. Of course, my favorite, and y'all gonna shock when you hear this. My favorite podcast is the Lunch Break Hot Take. I absolutely love these guys because they got this banter and they go back and forth, and it is just fun. It's a fun atmosphere. You just have a good time talking trash because there's a Carolina Panthers fan and a Baltimore Ravens fan in the room, and we can give the Carolina Panthers fan, Brody, give him a little crap because he was talking so much stuff and he was undefeated and he was beating bad teams, and so of course we give him a little bit of crap. But yeah, I love both of those guys. I love listening to the shows on Wednesdays, and I'd love to work with them. I actually one of them has been on the show here before, so I definitely enjoy having them on the show. Okay. All right. So Wilbur Gross says, I had just described Kirk Cousins. I want to say, didn't Kirk get at us when he was with the team that, formerly known as the Skins? I'm not gonna say the full name. I'm just saying, the Washington football team back in the day. When he was with the Washington football team back in the day, I believe he did get Baltimore a bit. But he's in Minnesota now. And they saying this dude, I've been looking at like I said, I've been peeking over the wall, looking at the other podcasts. And one of them is called, I want to say The Score North. And they have Purple Daily, which is a podcast that they run. It's 3 different guys. One of them doesn't really talk. He's more like the engineer. And the other 2 old guys, they just kind of just chatted up about which team. They kind of want the coach fired. And they also want to get rid of Kirk Cousins. I just think they have more of a pessimistic attitude towards their team. And some of it is realistic, and other they just got a lot of hate for the current situation that they're in. But they don't like Kirk Cousins either because they just don't like how the offensive schemes are set up. They refuse to blame the offensive coordinator, Kubiak. I think they're dead wrong in that. They got to go after that guy to change some things up. Anywho, moving forward. So just some dude 430, man. Thanks for coming through. It says Bateman has better chemistry with LJ after 2 games than Odell has ever had with Baker. Shots. Just firing shots off, man. Gross is probably going to come through your computer. He probably got your IP address right now, about to make all types of memes and put it all over the internet on you. Anyway, but yes, I do believe that Bateman has a great deal of chemistry with Lamar because every catch he has made has gone for a first down. In fact, one of my predictions is he gets a touchdown on Sunday. He's going to get his first touchdown on Sunday. It's going to be so beautiful. I'll be crying and everything, man. Get all emotional up in here. My boy Batman. He is going to get his touchdown. It's going to be awesome. I'm curious to see what the dance is going to be. Is he a gritty guy? I don't know. We don't know what those Gophers do. All right. Chris, what you got to say? Carolina Panthers fans looking at Darnell shaking. Oh, here we go. Wilber's got some fire. Are you concerned that Lamar is trying to be more of a pocket passer? There are times when where he will hold on to the ball more now than in previous seasons. Has that made his game suffer? No, I think he has definitely stepped up to a whole nother level. I mean, he was leading the league at one point in time of yards per pass attempt. And you're like, wow, this is the guy who's supposed to be the running back, right? He's throwing it, he's slinging it, he's got no fear. And I think it's because he's got receivers who know how to sit down and do their thing and catch those balls. I think he's got a lot more help this year. I'm not dissing Bateman. I'm just saying that there's been some upgrades in the house. And Lamar is benefiting from that. Yes, he's taking his time sitting in the pocket a little bit longer, trying to trust his line so he can get that ball down the field. I don't see a problem with it. And he's still doing his thing on the ground as well. So I'm excited about the guy. He's doing, that's my guy right here. You see it? You see it? Maybe I'm biased. I don't know. Oh, Jimmy Dean says that Haloti hit was the hit that ended RG3's career for the most part. I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, it did put in his backup, and I think we got torched by the backup once RG3 got hurt that game. But Haloti definitely put that knee out. Oof. I mean, you just saw it just crank. It went back the opposite direction because Haloti popped right into him. I don't know if he was trying to slide or what. That was when they were doing that little crappy side slide stuff. It doesn't compute for the referees. They're like, what are they doing? Are they sliding? Or are they just going down? I'm not really sure. So that they didn't call it. Let's talk about it going back to Batman. Chris White says, I think Batman is out with groin issues. Yes, it's a recurring issue, but Harbaugh said he may be able to go, but it's still up in the air. We'll know closer to game time. But that groin is a lingering thing. Same thing with hamstrings. You don't really know. It's an uncertainty. My money is on him playing. I think the guy he's hungry. He wants to get out there, and he wants to get back and show everybody what he's capable of. I think he's probably going to tough it out. Okay, so let's see. Whoever says, how many tears will Ravens Nation cry when the Browns sweep you this season? Baker doesn't need a wide receiver 1 to succeed like Lamar. Bruh. You come in here with this nonsense. Ravens flock, get him. Because of this dude coming in here and just tossing shit. You think Baker is going to sweep the Ravens? Like, granted, y'all have an amazing ground game. It is phenomenal. Your defense, yes, they are really coming at people with the sacks and stuff. But I guarantee you, Baltimore is not going to let you sweep nothing. You're going to sweep yourself in the door and out. Like you just, I know it's not happening. Right? I'm gonna have to move on to the next question. This is terrible. I can't believe you came in here talking all this nonsense, blasphemous, craziness, Browns Kool-Aid crap. Look, man, we're gonna come into Cleveland. We're gonna wipe our feet at the door. We're gonna get whatever delicacy they have in town or whatever, and say hello to the statue that probably got burned down of LeBron for the second time, and we're gonna step our foot right up your butt. This is just exactly what's gonna happen, man. That's what I got to say about that. Lamar is going to own y'all. You know, he's gonna be like Chicago Bears when AA Ron ran into the end zone. He's like, I owned you. I blanket owned you. I always owned you. Yes, that's what's gonna happen. Anyway, so POV, what is this? Just Some Dude says, POV, Browns fans say Landry isn't a number one receiver. That's a lie. Landry is a number one receiver for sure. All right, the Steelers will sweep Baltimore. Why you just hateful? You were just absolutely hateful. I don't know what it is. You drank a whole gallon of haterade this morning. The Steelers will sweep Baltimore, bro. Come on, they can't even get their own life together. Where are they at in the North right now? They're dead last. It's somewhere down at the bottom. I know we at the top. That's all I know. And it's kind of hard to hear you from down there as well. All right. Who we got here? He said Baker. Y'all got to see this. Baker ain't got no shoulders, man. You are savage, Chris. Savage. All right. Jimmy Dean says Lamar does hold the ball when the check down is open, but sometimes it also allows him to create and scramble for yards. He is absolutely right. I think Lamar holding on to the ball, I think he is trying to make something happen. He's reestablishing the pocket. Hang on a second. Okay, so yeah, holding on to the ball can be a good thing because you're trying to reestablish the pocket and see if there's somebody else deeper downfield. Maybe he should hit the check downs and maybe get our running backs involved in open space. That helps. Let's go with Baltimore zones too. Keenan was playing better than Baker, and he didn't have Hunt or Chubb. He had a backup running back, and they killed the Denver Broncos. And it was this running back needs. I mean, I thought for sure. I'm like, Baltimore should just really go talk to Cleveland. Like, hey, I know we in the same. I know this, but we need that running back. I need you to go ahead and we'll give up a 4th round pick. Just go ahead and slide him over here to Baltimore so we can go ahead and tear some things loose. But it didn't happen. He deserves to start somewhere like Houston. Houston needed a guy like that. All right, here it is. Chris White says Baker can't even hug himself without pain medicine. Ooh. Hey, Wilbur, you still in here, man? They coming for you, dog. They coming for you. Oh, he says, when Lamar counts to 200, he skips over 6 and 101 because he threw a pick 6 for 101 yards to lose a playoff game. Okay. Look, man, you really be thinking too hard about this. Just you think too hard on these, man. I know you like pondering in your sleep trying to get this in, but man, just let it go. Let it go. I mean, we're gonna have our battles, but you really just be trying to throw some random shade out of nowhere. Okay, so L on the joke. Yes, it definitely he needs to take the L on that one there. I think when Baltimore does face Cleveland, it's going to be a full-on battle. It's going to be a battle, and I believe that Lamar is going to take probably 3 sacks because they have such a phenomenal defensive line there. But I still think that Baltimore can get it done in the air as long as he can get that protection for a couple of times. He's going to break out the back door like crazy and go running like he stole something, or running like little Kyler there when he broke some furniture in his parents' house and running with his head back. Yeah, you're going to see some crazy running, some all-star skills going on right there. And I still think Baltimore has the X factor. As long as they have that X factor, they're going to be able to take down the Cleveland Browns. All right. So what else y'all got? What you got? All right, here's one. Gross says, how many passes does Lamar take to score a touchdown? None, because these are like dad jokes now. Really bad dad jokes. It's just you trying so hard and it is failing. So bad. Keep your day job because if you was doing stand up, bro, you about to be kicking a can down the street. It's just terrible. All right, here is Baltimore Zone 21. Imagine Lamar with Hunt and Chubb. Yes, those weapons would be sick. We need a running back who can tote that rock. And I think, if Baltimore is bringing back all the legends, all the good guys that were great a few years ago. I mean, why not bring back Terrence West? Terrence ain't that old now. He's 29 years old, and he probably can still rumble. Let's see here. Chris White says, "What happened to Lamar under center?" Well, I mean, it just gets it better with the shot. Excuse me, not shotgun, pistol. He's got better formations out of pistol. There have been some snaps when he's been under center, but it's not going to be the main thing going on for them. All right, let's see what Wilbur says here. Lamar doesn't need Hunt and Chubb because he's an RB. Yes, right now, look, you speaking truth right now. He is the RB1 because he's leading the league in rushing. There's no discussion about that, but he still is an excellent quarterback. And the thing is people look at Lamar's attributes as weaknesses and to his other attributes. Like just because he has dynamic legs and can make people miss does not mean he can't throw the ball. Doesn't mean he's not just as good as your average signal caller or maybe even above average signal caller in the league when it comes to throwing the ball. He's just dynamic. His dynamic legs overshadow that. So, I mean, y'all can hate all you want, but the dude can throw. Let's see here. And in a return fire, Baker is 1 pick 6 away from being a bust. I don't know. I got respect for Baker. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a lot of respect for this guy. Progressive commercials, all that aside, because you can see that this is still the best quarterback that Cleveland has had in years. In years. Sure, he comes out. He is. I think he's a gunslinger. He is a full-on gunslinger. Baker's coming out there fearless. He say he wake up dangerous. The guy just going to come out there and sling it. He's got a good rushing attack to be able to create the play action for him. He just needs to capitalize on it a little bit more to be great. He said there's no contract talk with Baker. I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe Gross can clarify what's going on with that. Let's see. So Wilbur, don't mind me. It's just jokes. Oh yeah, Wilbur. He has a thick skin, really thick skin. And he can get down with the best. Respect the Browns too. Got a lot of respect for him. Wilbur says, will high-end wide receivers want to come to Baltimore in free agency? I think this was a discussion for last season. I think this comment you're making right now fit well last year. Right now, Baltimore is showing that they use wide receivers. They use them. Sammy's eating. Devin Duvernay was getting fed. Prochet was getting his. Hollywood, you see he's getting used right now. Dude's got like 6 touchdowns right now. We've barely scratched the halfway point. So you have to, I mean, last year that would have been a great comment. This year it doesn't match up. It doesn't fit the narrative anymore. You're doing some Stephen A. Smith right now. You on old stuff. Remember Stephen A. Smith said, Hunter Henry, he's going to give Baltimore a huge problem tonight when Hunter Henry was on injured reserve, looking at the TV like, huh? Like, get some new material, homie. All right. Have you noticed Lamar is more willing to throw the deep ball? Yes, absolutely. I think the chemistry with him and Hollywood Brown is phenomenal. I think they are just really in sync on these comeback routes and what Hollywood is able to do after the catch to get the extra 7 to 10 yards after the catch, making guys miss. But the deep ball is great. Loving this. I'm loving the fact that they actually are, pulling the RPO and doing it the right way because they got the speed to use. They don't need to do a short slant. They are doing deep post on these RPOs because of the fact that they got the speed. With Bateman's first downs, some of those, I think 2 of those big ones were against Cincinnati, and they were deep shots off of RPOs. And one of them was an RPO. I say the other one was an RPO, and the other one was Lamar just stepping up in the pocket, getting it done on just a regular shotgun snap. That says, imagine Cleveland with Watson. You know what? The thing about Watson, I know we was talking about this with Lamar, but Watson holds the ball like crazy. He was like, he had 48 sacks in one season because he just held on to the ball too long. It wasn't the line. It was him holding that ball too long. And that's why Baltimore ate him up both times they played him because that dude held on to the rock too long. All right. Wilbur says, no Watson, please. We don't need any more off the field issues. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Not right now. Whenever the heat turns down on Watson, if he's able to beat those charges, hopefully, uh, I mean, how do I say this? I am not a fan of sexual assault, not in the least bit. I think when it comes to players who sexually assault somebody, I think that you know, yes, that if they're guilty, I'm not judging right now. I'm not saying he's guilty. All I'm saying is that if he is guilty, then yes, I hope justice is in place. But if he is innocent, and he's able to beat these charges, then yes, I think a good team, would be willing to take him and actually go pretty far with him. I'm a big fan. Hope he does well. Everything else I've seen out of Watson has been great. He has a really good heart. I love this guy's heart. He gave one of his game checks to a cafeteria worker. I mean, you saw the things he was doing for the community down in Houston. The city loved him, and now they turned their backs on him, and the organization has as well. And they should be riding with this guy, supporting him, and hopefully, he's able to get this thing cleaned up, or if justice takes its course, best of luck to them. Sorry for those families, those people that were affected. All right. So Baltimore Zone 21 says, so glad Juju and TY turned us down. Watkins has been a much better addition for real, for real. Yes. Take a look at every single guy that Baltimore wanted during the offseason. Oh, we need Julio. Remember I said we got Julio at home? Oh, yeah. That's going to be Rashad Bateman for sure. T.Y. Hilton, we wanted T.Y. He turned us down. Juju turned us down. How are they doing this year? Not that great. So was it Julio was injured and was still injured like crazy, or just underproducing when he's over there? I just don't. Yeah, okay. We wanted Kenny Galladay. Is Kenny even healthy? Kenny's not healthy on a regular basis. So I mean, we panned out. Everything worked out. I'm glad we didn't trade for those guys. I'm glad we didn't trade. I'm glad we didn't sign them and just overcommit on a contract to him, because I believe New York is paying that guy like $18 million a year. That's entirely too much. Baltimore can't afford that. We got scraps right now. Got to pay Lamar. All right. J. Ron, thanks for coming through. I said in the offseason when Rodgers was tripping that Cleveland should trade Mayfield and OBJ to the Packers for Rodgers. That's an interesting perspective. Welcome to the home of original sports perspective. But hey, this is an interesting perspective. I could see something like this working out. Mayfield, OBJ, and Adams all sitting with the Packers. Oh, that'd be lovely. But Rodgers with Cleveland, not sure what would happen there. Would he want his number one target? Would things work out with just Landry? Is he able to actually hit an intermediate receiver, because he loves his Devonte Adams and they love their go routes. He loves playing just full on long ball. He's got Hail Mary probably tattooed across his stomach like Tupac, because that's all he throws is deep. Anywho, J. Rom says Big Ben did what Watson is accused of, and he's a hero. Well, I don't know. Big Ben had charges brought up on him when he was in Vegas, and I don't think they weren't judicial charges. They were civil court charges. The difference here is if those charges were just civil, like Watson would be able to clear those things up with a written check, or he'd just be able to ignore it like Antonio Brown does and be able to clear the whole thing out, but these are judicial charges now, so it's got to go out through the full court process, and the NFL is not going to get the evidence that the rest of that the courts are going to get, so they can't make a decision like that right now. And so, yeah, he's going to be pending for a while. With Big Ben, it was all civil court. I'm pretty sure there was some money exchanged outside of that because they were claiming things, but they didn't really want to go to the police to make a statement. They just got a lawyer and said we're filing a civil lawsuit. All right, here we go. Love those pics on the wall. Oh, yes. So I have a few of these photos here. I want to make sure I don't disconnect if I go ahead and move around a bit. But of course, we got Justin behind me on my left, and we got Lamar on my right here. And then I have everybody from Lamar to Ed Reed. I'm going to see. We're going to try. I'm going to try. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect. If it does, I'm sorry. Okay. So back here, there's little Ed Reed. And if you look behind me, down here, I have Ray right there. You see Ray over here, a little Lamar there. And then greatest safety all time, folks. Got Ed Reed there. I think that is about all I have. Oh, wait, the other one. One more thing. The stadium. You got the Ravens Stadium. That is when Wallace scored a touchdown from Joe Flacco. So I got that big stadium there. So, yeah, that's the place. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love, Naked Monster. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, smack that bell. Appreciate you. All right, LBHT, what's good? My guy is here. I was just talking about you, man. Hey, y'all, for those of you who have not already, because this guy's on the road to 1,000. They are very close, and they need your help. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and smack the bell for the lunch break hot take. That is a fun show. I think they come on at like 6:15 every Wednesday. It's just so much fun. All right, so Jimmy says, out of B. Will, Calais, Elliott, and AA, rank them in order of preference as far as re-signing. Calais, no, I'm sorry. he's a little bit old, and some of, I say, mainstream media has been giving this guy mad props. But if you go back and look at the Colts game early, he was getting owned by the center. Go take a look at that game. When it comes to Elliott, I like Elliott to stay. I like AA to stay. Big Baby, he can go. He can go. PFF actually has his rating correct. He is one of the worst defensive tackles or nose tackles in the league right now. I like the guy. He has great character, but right now his gameplay is not where it should be. And maybe he'll step it up after they come back from the bye, but I'm just not a big fan. So if I had to rank who I wanted to stay, I say AA, Elliott, and then not even rank B. Will or Calais. They just got to go on to greener pastures or go on to somewhere else, because I just don't see the use. Let the young breeds come through. Let Mattabeast loose. Let him just unleash the Mattabeast on the rest of the league, because he can help fill in. And Broderick Washington, if he's not vandalizing something, he can come in and do his thing as well. Let's see. We need to get this run game together before December, is what Baltimore says. I don't know if he said it in that accent or not, but I am, I'm sorry, I'm from Louisiana, and I have a mixed military accent because it's a mixed pool of different things. So, yeah, he said this. They need to get this Baltimore or get this run game together. It is true. The run game is absolutely abysmal right now outside of Lamar. I mean, the guys are averaging 3.2 yards a carry. That's not good. That is absolutely horrible. If Harbaugh's smart, he pulled his belt off during the daggone bye week. Let them all have it, and then pulled it in. I want to say this number 18. That's he was hype, and he was battling Tyson Williams for the top, I guess, or the third spot. And then Tyson is the one that was starting. But pull both of those boys in because they're young. They got the fresh legs. Let them go. Let's see. Robert says, please explain to Ravens Nation why Troy Polamalu. I ain't reading the rest of this, bro. You sit here just throwing shade on here. Troy Polamalu was never a better player than Ed Reed. Ed Reed is the GOAT, the greatest safety all time. I don't care if you want to talk about the dead guy or the guy who chopped his pinky off to keep playing or like that. They were both greats. I'll give them that, But when it comes to ball hawking safeties who just saw it and made it happen and dared quarterbacks and baited them left and right, Ed Reed is the GOAT, hands down, dropping the mic on that conversation. Said, let Tyson out of jail. Yes, I told you need to go talk to John Harbaugh and say, hey, look, man, please get him out of the doghouse. Jimmy says you should add lunch break a hot tape to your stream. I would, but I have some pizza up there waiting on me, and I really want to chat it up with this guy. I think we'll have to get together and do a show later on. Definitely a lunch break hot take, man. I love you guys. Y'all have an amazing show, and I cannot wait to see the next episode because y'all did to chop it up. It's pretty fun. Let's see. Oh, you talking about? Yeah. He's got his bachelor's, probably his master's or doctorate degree in full on trolling. The guy sits under the bridge and just gets everybody. It's just entertaining having this guy come through and troll people. Hang on, I might have a visitor here in 2 seconds. Give me just a second on this mute. Well, I'm being told that there is fried chicken upstairs. This has never happened in 11 years of marriage in my life. There's real fried chicken upstairs. Oh, God. All right, so with like 2 more questions. I got to get me some fried chicken. And like fried chicken is usually an illegal substance in this house. So, yeah, we got to get that in. Anyway, says Jimmy Dean can't stream right now. Trying to edit some videos. Yep, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Nate McCrary, thank you. Nate McCrary was 14 on the practice squad. Nate McCrary should be able to be given an opportunity to come forth and take Le'Veon Bell's spot, to be honest, because he has better legs, more shifty, like that guy. Let's see here. Yeah, Troy had 27 picks in his career. Ray Lewis had more, and Ed Reed had somewhere around, was it 60, I believe? Yeah, dude was definitely more of a beast. Let me answer a couple of these, and then I go. Ed Reed is the GOAT, but Troy was pretty good. Yes, he was phenomenal against the run, and he would like to be. I mean, he just took major chances when it came to stopping the run, jumping over players. All right, so it says, hey, Tanya. Okay, hey, Tanya. Okay, yeah, okay. Here we go. So Ed Reed is better. Why you think Troy is not in the Hall of Fame conversation? Ooh. Okay, that one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Troy is great. I think maybe he should be considered for the Hall of Fame, but that's a conversation for that time. I ain't got time to explain between the two. As long as we're comparing, Ed Reed is still the GOAT. But am I saying Troy is not great? No, Troy was definitely great. He really was a big staple for that Steelers defense. All right. Baltimore said he's got to go. And I'm thinking I should as well. Fried chicken is a serious thing around here. Like I'm telling you, back in the day, if I came in the house and I fried some chicken, it was going down. Wife would sit there mad at, there will be no fried chicken in this house. And there's fried chicken upstairs. So I better get to it, man. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack the notification bell, because just like today, you never know when I'm going to pop up a post. I got a family and stuff, but I want to make sure that we talk original sports perspective about the Ravens. And occasionally I'll jump on some other teams when I get bored. But I love talking Ravens, folks. You've seen the game room. This is my life. Faith, family, and football is what we do. I'm hoping y'all have a wonderful evening. I cannot wait to watch the game on Sunday, man. Y'all take care.